Right, bring it in now.
Bring it in hot, mate.
Fuck, my header is not looking very hot, is it?
Yeah. That's why I like these ones here, because never tell. Oh,
There's no one even
no, it's
there.
all right, Cam. No, it's all right. Okay.
He looks bigger on TV.
Oh!
Yeah, you weren't even there.
Oh, sort your audio out, would you? Oh, here we go. This is always part of the fun.
Slow and steady wins the race, Cam.
No. Anytime, mate. Anytime.
You're still on
Have we
mute.
got audio yet?
No, you're still on mute.
You're still on mute.
Jesus Christ. Hover the mouse over. Should be bottom
Down
left
the
hand
bottom.
corner.
Down the bottom. Unmute.
Bottom left corner. You know your left and right. Hey!
Hey, sorry, first time.
Long time listener, first time caller.
That's right. Oh, what's up?
What's going on?
Same stuff, man.
Hey. Look, okay, this is I always forget to do this at the start, so I'll do it now. So welcome to Talking Jits and Giggles. This is episode
9.
9.
9 times.
9. So 9. Look, we've got to do our little shout out at the start to Scorpion Supplements. As you can see, I've got this really nice flash top. They're here in Christchurch. As you can see, just in, just strategically placed behind Bryan's shoulder. Some protein. So look, they're a supplement shop here in Christchurch. They're online. It's scorpionsupplements.co.nz. Make sure you, for all you people in Christchurch would want to hit them up. They're down the bottom of, I think it's Port Hills Road.
It is indeed, yep.
Yeah, it's down the bottom of Port Hills Road. They make it locally here in New Zealand, so especially at this point in time, it's always good to support locally. And so make sure you crack into that. So, like I said, episode number 9, we have Mr. Cam Steer. How you doing, buddy?
Good, bro. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, good. I see you've done this a lot before, the old getting the old internet and Zoom already at the start, mate.
Bro, this is my first Zoom.
Popping your cherry, mate.
I was trying to download it, man. I couldn't fucking figure it out.
Oh, you don't even need to.
No, you don't need to download it, bro.
Next time.
There was a group drink then. So yeah, look, man. I mean, how we do this, you might have seen a few of these before. I hope so. You better have. But look, what we normally do is kick into how you started jiu-jitsu and just your journey. Don't talk about karate when you're a young kid.
I didn't do karate, bro.
That's your brother.
That was my brother, yeah. He was pretty good. I don't even know when I started, man. I started a long time ago. You're a blue belt, Hayden, at Academy of Combat down Litchfield Street. I was friends with Andrew Dearsley growing up. We had a mutual friend in high school, so we started hanging out, and he'd just play all these Pride videos and we'd hang out on the weekends and stuff. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. And then obviously he was training at the time. He was quite obsessed and he was really good. I went to a few of his MMA fights. It's like, shit, this is some crazy shit. And I was never a tough guy I wanted to be a tough guy, but I don't know, watching all those videos and then watching him fight, I was like, shit, this could be something I want to try. So signed up to Academy of Combat all those years ago and started with kickboxing, Muay Thai stuff. So all the stand up, did that for a few months, look over, see all the guys on the ground. And I know Andrew was doing that. So I was like, shit, if I want to have a fight, I better try this. So jumped on there, trained for, fuck knows, long time. Got blue belt, purple belt there. Started training with you guys as well. During that sort of time, I had some MMA fights. Can't remember how many. So that was good, man. The MMA fights, I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it, but it was a good test. it helped me develop as a person more than anything, like build confidence. Like I'm generally quite shy in like public settings. Like there's a lot of people, I'll sort of sit to the back, but you know, fighting and all that sort of really brought me out of my shell a lot more confident. Plus, like I can defend myself if anything goes wrong. Yeah, then, you know, I fought MMA for a long time. I was training jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, MMA, you know, training with you, Hayden and John, Jason, Scotty. Like, so we had a good crew of people sort of training together. Then, yeah, you know, like MMA sort of went away from me. Like my passion started to be jiu-jitsu, like solely jiu-jitsu. So I was like training hard, like 4, 5, 6 times a week, just constantly trying to get rounds in. So it was sort of at that time you'd left and started Groundworx. I was still at Academy of Combat, but I needed more, so I was training there, training with you, and just really trying to get as many sort of sessions in as possible. Then I sort of came to a point at Academy where it wasn't going anywhere for me. It was hard to leave the guys there. Like me and John were good training partners, been training together for years. Like smash each other, probably him more smashing me, but and then yeah, like it was time to make a choice of where to go. The schedule you guys had, because you were cross leasing at the Bromley dojo, so
Yeah.
you only had like certain days you were training, and I needed full time, so
Needed to feed the beast, eh, bro? You needed it just all the time.
I needed to feed the animal, bro. And then, yeah, because Trevor used to train at Academy, obviously. So I messaged him and he was like, yeah, man, come down, try Access, because they had 6 days a week. And I was like, shit, that's perfect. And then met Hayden there. He was just got his brown belt. Yeah, never looked back, bro. Just trained there full time, just went nuts. And yeah, fucking awesome. Love it.
So you received your black belt when, Cam?
Oh yeah, so yeah, the journey keeps going, bro. I got my brown belt through Hayden, and then last year I got my black belt over in Japan by Master Tucker. So that was a fucking out of it experience, man. It was super cool. Still don't believe it happened, so you know, it's pretty crazy.
Oh, it's been a long journey for you though, because like I say, it would be 15 odd years, I'd probably say.
Yeah, man.
Give or take.
No idea when I started, no idea what year, but I heard you guys talking about the explosive comp.
Yeah.
And how many years ago was that? Like,
oh, mate, it was. Yeah. For me, it's really easy because my son's 18.
Oh yeah.
So I started before he was born, so it's just like the year before he was born. So I was like, see, that's the easiest way to remember for me.
Perfect. I have no benchmark to sort of set a date, but yeah, when you were talking about the explosive tournament, I was like, I was an orange belt there. So I must have been training at least a year or 2 years before then. So I still remember that tournament. Forest fucking triangle, man.
Because that's the difference. So like especially at the Academy of Combat in the time, you were actually training semi like 2 styles at once. You were doing the shoot fighting kind of style as well as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that's when I'm assuming Cam says it was orange. That's where that one sort of come through. And then as you got on to your blue, it more stayed with the well, you still got graded in the shoot fighting system, but you went on to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well.
Yeah. I gave up trying to grade that shoot fighting system. It was just, you know,
it just wasn't the thing. You talked about your MMA, bro. So like, I mean, how many MMA fights did you have?
Bro, I'm terrible with numbers, dates, names, all that kind of shit. But I think it was. Pardon?
Who are you?
I'm Bryan Russell.
Good looking.
I don't know, man. I think 6 or 7, maybe.
Yeah.
I remember your first 5. I can remember it was at least 5. I know that.
Yeah. Oh, like most of them were pretty fun, man. But there's a few that just, you know, didn't really want to be there, didn't want to fight that sort of time. So
it was weird to watch you because, like, you didn't have a very good record, but you didn't lose. You just weren't winning. You were like destroying them for the start, and then you just kind of like, It was weird to watch. I was like, fuck,
I just
what's going on?
Yeah, I don't have like it's the same. It's the thing about crowds. Like the crowds, like it's a different animal. Like I didn't want to be there. Like I didn't want to have a whole bunch of people watching me. You know, it's a different. You got to be mentally like in the zone, and you sort of lose focus if you start, you know, drifting off, doing all that sort of shit. So, but I mean, and I had a shit gas tank, so.
I had a secret weapon. I used to, when I did boxing, I was freaking out about crowds as well. But I take my glasses off, I can't see more than a meter in front of me, so everyone's just a big blur. So it could be one person or 100 people. I had no idea.
So that's why you lost, wasn't it? Because you were just swinging because you couldn't see anyone.
Oh no, I was shit. That's why I lost.
You talk about Jason and all that kind of stuff. So obviously you come through, and with myself, like Jason and Scotty and that were started teaching myself with Jeff and all that kind of stuff. Was John like one of your main training partners at the time? Like you talked about him as well, like back in the day. John Erskine.
Yeah.
Last names.
Last
name's John. So when I started, Jason and Scotty were purple belts. John was a blue belt as well, but I think we more started training after I'd sort of done a bit more jiu-jitsu and started crossed over into the MMA sort of side of things, and that's where we started really like training hard with each other. So it was, it took like a year, 2 years before I was even close to giving him a good run for his money, but because I had better stand-up than him, I'd, you know, fuck him up on the feet, but then he'd just take me down every time and just fucking maul me.
Stop it.
Bro, I still remember some of those trainings. It's just like, you're a bastard,
Because that was the thing, though, back then, though, too. I mean, the gym, even though the jiu-jitsu and you cross-trained a lot, and with the MMA, they all did MMA. Obviously, yourself and John, Jason Banks and Scotty Benson, like they were all doing MMA at the time, so that's, you know, so you could do everything together. Yeah.
So like we'd be training most nights, and then Friday night was like proper MMA training. So yeah, I still remember like the Litchfield days, like, and then when he shifted. But the Litchfield days were like some of the best sort of trainings that we had, I think.
Oh. And so, okay, so with your jiu-jitsu then going like where you are, and do you teach much at the moment, mate?
Yeah, I teach Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it's an advanced class at Axis. And we just sort of started like a competition class on a Wednesday, but that's just, so more advanced on, Tuesdays, Thursdays. And so I've been teaching for about 3 years, I think. So I'm enjoying that. It's definitely helping me develop my jiu-jitsu as well.
How does it help, like, with your nerves and stuff? Like, you know, you said you don't really like talking in crowds. Does it really help you?
Oh, shit, yeah, man. Like, it's helped me, like, each year I just get better and better and more comfortable in situations. So by the time I'm 80, bro, you'll just see the most relaxed person ever, right?
We'll have an extra conversation.
So what?
Oh, sorry, you go.
No. What do you do to relax, man, outside of jiu-jitsu?
I'm pretty relaxed, like, constantly, bro. Like, I'm a... People say, sleep, bro, chill. Still do heaps of weight training. I've always done that.
Can't tell.
Can't tell?
Nah, not at all, mate.
Shrinking, eh? It's just the angle.
I'm shrinking.
Yeah, you know, like just normal shit, man. Just hang out, party. It's like PlayStation, bro, basketball, all sorts of stuff. But mostly jiu-jitsu takes up 90% of my time. So, you know, if I'm at home in the mornings, I'm watching jiu-jitsu. If I go to work, I sit on the toilet, I watch jiu-jitsu, bro. You know, like it's constant. It's a constant thing.
Are you still hitting the gym quite a bit?
Yeah, I just started again, bro. I took like 2 years off doing weights, and I didn't realize how skinny I got, so I started doing weights again. I did it more for like trying to fix my back and injuries and stuff, and then I sort of felt better on the mats. I felt faster and, you know, a bit more agile. But
not doing them.
not doing them. Yeah. Because like my job's super physical, man. Like I'm lifting shit all day, so I thought maybe take the weights away and see how that goes. But yeah, it got to a point where I was getting smashed by big strong dudes at the gym. I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll get back on the weights.
Need to push some fucking tonne. Do you do like when you're gymming and shit? Do you do like quite a hard out diet, or do you supplements and stuff as well? Or
scorpion supplements, yeah, I get some of that stuff. Not heaps, bro. Just like vitamins, like zinc, magnesium, protein, just the normal. Like nothing special, nothing crazy. My diet's shit. I'll have like a pie every day.
A magnesium pie.
A magnesium pie. Like a bacon egg pie from a servo or something, bro, because I'm always out and about working, so. But that's why I just train hard, bro, so it never really has an effect.
How are your joints and your fingers and shit? Are they pretty fucked?
Nah, joints are good. Oh, fingers okay, man. My back's probably the worst.
For carrying everybody.
Big ass. Nah, man. It's just, I don't know. I wasn't stretching enough, so I sorted out heaps of treatment, chiropractic, massage, all that stuff. But when it came down to it, I just needed to stretch more. So now I just stretch every day.
No, good massage therapy, bro. Open palm. Awesome,
bro,
man.
Jerry fucking, man, I've had massage with Jerry's great. But, man, I've never felt so much pain.
It's terrible, eh?
How is this good for me? You guys are all soft, man. Bro, you need a really good massage, man.
I'm tapping. I'm like, let me go.
Yeah, see, because you got knots because you haven't done anything like that for ages. That's why.
Yeah, I need to go back and see him, bro. But it's just time as well,
And then you said about your work, your heavy lifting. So what do you actually do for a job, bud?
Scrap metal. So I'm a scrap metal dealer. I've been doing that for like.
You're a dealer.
You dealer? What?
Trader. So yeah, I've been doing that for like 20 years now. I left school. It's my old man's business, so I jumped in that. That's pretty good. It allows me to travel a lot. So, if I have to live overseas for jiu-jitsu or anything, he's pretty cool with that. So he's always pretty supportive.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to come into the next one when you mentioned traveling. Obviously, you travel a fair bit, bro. You like to get around it. You like to get around it a wee bit. Like, just tell us a wee bit about your travels and like where you like to go. You compete a lot. That's pretty massive. A lot of people around New Zealand know that side of you. But like when you travel, where do you like to travel to? Is there a specific place, or you just love going everywhere? Tell us a wee bit about that.
Bro, I just like getting out and going everywhere. Like, I like to train if I travel as well. Like, lately I've just been dedicating trips to training. But when I was doing MMA, I'd go to Thailand, train kickboxing, Muay Thai. And they've always got MMA, like an MMA cage at a gym or whatever, so I'd be training there too. So I was doing that for like 3 years, like constantly just go each year, go to Thailand and stuff. Where else? Japan's been a big one. I've been that's Singapore. Japan's been a big one, man. Like I went there 4 or 5 years ago, and it's just I fell in love with that place, bro. The people, the culture, like
the vending machines,
man.
Cream.
Like the ramen. It's just, and the jiu-jitsu's amazing, man. So yeah, Japan's great.
So what do you just compete? So you say you travel to Japan. Like, what comps have you competed in there? And
just do the Tokyo Grand Slam so far in Japan.
Once or twice?
3 times.
Oh, 3 times. Woo.
Yeah. So the first one, I think I got no, I didn't get anywhere. Second one I didn't get anywhere, and then the last one I won. So that was good. That was last year. But just progress, bro. Progress.
You faked them out for 2 years and came back and fucking you sandbagged it.
Sandbag, bro. That's the way to do it. Like I love, just Japan, man. That tournament's awesome. I like the whole that UAE JJF sort of style tournaments they have. Did the World Pro last year as well in Abu Dhabi, so it's a lot easier.
Man?
Bro, you could do a whole podcast on how crazy that shit is.
Oh, just keep talking then, man.
Bro, so it's an easy tournament to register for. That's why I did it. Like, to register for the BJJF one, I have to like email back and forth to Japan, register the club, all that sort of shit. So I was just like,
Okay.
That's when I started doing those Tokyo Grand Slams, because you just register straight away and in there. And I was like, this is pretty cool. You build up points. So I did a few in Aussie as well. So I did like a Melbourne and a Sydney one, and I got some good results. I got a gold, silvers and stuff. So I built up points on that, and you just see yourself on a world point scale. It's kind of cool. Then I was training with this dude in Christchurch, Christian. And this is the guy that got me back on the weights, because I got sick of getting my ass handed by a white belt.
He's not really a white belt. He's like fucking.
Bro,
he's built
bro,
like a
that
big shit ass.
He's a beast, bro. He's a beast. He picked it up super fast, got his blue belt reasonably quick, and he was traveling and competing as well. And he's like, "Let's go do World Pro." I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "What?" He goes, "Let's go to Abu Dhabi." I was like, "Fuck yeah, why not? Let's go."
Today?
Yeah, today. So the next day we booked a flight and sorted everything out. We went there, and fuck, man, that place is nuts. Like, I got stitched up. We rented a car. For whatever reason, I don't know how it happened, but I ended up being the driver. Apparently, because I was older and it was cheaper insurance or some bullshit. So, bro, the first time we drove out of the dealership, around the corner, there's a truck tipped over on the side. I was just like, fuck, man.
Is that how you're supposed to park here?
Yeah. Like 40 degrees outside. I was like, fuck. And then, so we chilled out for a few days, went to Ferrari World. That place is fucking nuts. And I'd registered in Masters and adult divisions. But like, I registered in the under 94 for both of them, but leading up to the comp, I was like weighing myself. I was like, man, I could cut down to under 86 easy. So I was able to edit my Masters bracket, but then for the adult, it was too late for some reason. So I couldn't edit out of that. So I was kind of stuck between a under 94 adult and an under 86 Masters. I was like, oh, fuck. All right, I'll just cut for the Masters and pack on some pounds for the adult. And anyway, we're chilling out, man. We drove to Dubai for the day. Sitting down, having lunch. I was probably like 91 kilos at this point. Roundabout. And then I was like checking my phone. I was like, fuck, man, I think the weigh-ins are today. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know how we got our days mixed up. I think flying for 2 days kind of fucked it up for us. But so we had to jump back in the car, burn back to Abu Dhabi, which is like an hour on just the most nightmare freeway, going 160 in this little Mitsubishi that's just shaking the whole way.
Little Mirage.
I'm stressing out because I'd been eating and like drinking heaps of water. I was like, fucking, this is going to be a hard cut. Get back to the hotel. We've got 2 sets of scales. I'm in the bath, just water cutting, getting everything off, weighing myself. And I was like 84 on the dot. I was like, on one scale was like 86, one was 84. I was like, fuck. I couldn't feel like I couldn't cut anymore. And we were running late. I was like, man, let's just go. Jump in the car. He's like, you can cut more weight. We'll turn the aircon off. I was like, fuck, okay.
So it's like 4 degrees outside as well.
Dude, I'm sweating the biggest bullets you've ever seen. Like, I'm fucking drenched in my clothes. I'm still driving to this fucking weigh-in, like dehydrated, just like a zombie. Bro, I get there, I weigh 82.1 kilos. What the fuck? I was like, either your scales are broken or ours are.
Looking like a fucking raisin.
Right. Like Skeletor. I was just so gaunt. I couldn't even talk. I was just like walking. And then, yeah, it's good about that one because you can cut the day before.
Yeah.
I was like, sweet, no problem. I just rehydrate.
No problem.
because I was just sweating the whole day. I couldn't stop sweating. I was just counting coconut waters, all that sort of stuff. Get there the next day, jump in for the Masters. I was like, okay, sweet. First match was pretty hard, man. Just had the guy, and I was in his half guard. I had him in a sort of modified cross lapel choke the whole time. I almost had him, man. He was like, you could feel him like choking out. I was just like holding for dear life. My arms blew out. So I lost that pretty close in the end. And then there was a small bracket. So the next match was for a bronze and lost that by one advantage. And both of us were just fucked. We're just like two like dehydrated raisins, on the mat doing nothing. It was a boring match, but it was a match. And then the next day, I just keep fucking up when I had to go for weigh-ins and stuff. So for the adult weight, I didn't have to cut anything. I wasn't worried about it. But I waited in line for like 4 hours because the weigh-in lines were huge. I was like, waiting. Get to the scales, and they're like, oh no, you're weighing in tomorrow.
Oh, you fucking fucks.
Oh, joking.
Fuck you.
I weigh it now.
I was like, I'm so underweight. It's not funny. Just weigh me in and let me do that. No, tomorrow. I was like, okay, sweet. Go back the next day, watch Christian compete, and then I weighed in well under. I was like 87 or something on the day. Yeah. And they just looked at me like, oh, shit.
Should have weighed in yesterday.
You should have seen me yesterday. I was lighter. And then, man. So I'm super light. Sitting on the toilet the next day because that's the day of the competition. And then I look at my phone, and I wasn't up for like another 5 or 6 hours. And then all of a sudden, it jumps back to you're on in 20 minutes. And we're at the hotel, like at least 30-minute drive from the venue. I was just like, what the fuck? I talked to Christian. I was like, man, I think I'm on soon. And like he checked his phone. I was like, bro, you're on in 20 minutes. I was like, fuck. So burn rubber, get to the stadium, running through all the gi check and everything. Like they're trying to stop me. I was like, nah, I'm on. Like I'm going. Get to the match and just get fucking manhandled by this huge dude. Like that was fun. It was good.
For him.
Yeah, fun for him. It was a good experience, man. Like I wouldn't change a thing. Like next time I go back, it'll be different story, but smarter, like.
So that was last year. Was it were you still a brown belt or black belt at that stage?
That was brown belt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was online, wasn't it? That was live online. Was that the one?
Yeah, so they had that on YouTube, man.
Yeah, I watched that one. That was cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I like the pros and that kind of stuff. I think more and more people are gravitating away from IFBJJ towards the pros and the grappling industries and that kind of stuff because it's easy. It's not, you don't have to pay all this money to be able to compete. Literally, you just jump on and you register yourself or your club or whatever, and then you're in. That's it. Most of it's done through SmoothCon.
Yeah, it's not even the money issues. It's like the whole back and forth trying to register everything from yourself to the club to your coach, just to your coach's coach, all this, all this shit, man.
Yeah, I remember when I was lucky because when I had to do it, I had to go through, I had to email Stacey had to then apply and then, vice versa. Yeah, I've done it. And then I've had to go through it and it was a fucking rigmarole.
Yeah. And I'd rather just go and compete something easy, Although I was going to do it this year, but like go over World Masters and all that sort of stuff, but not going to happen, eh?
Maybe not.
Maybe not
this year. Hey, look, in 4 weeks' time, New Zealand's potentially, it's going to be close to being back to level 1.
Really?
Yeah.
But they reckon around the...
America's not. Imagine going to America. I wouldn't
want to we ain't going to America. I couldn't give a shit about traveling for the next 2 years, but I'm pretty keen.
That's not a big you are, bro.
But, I think it's quite cool. What about New Zealand, mate? Like, I mean, competing in New Zealand, we had Pat and Amy on last week. Like, you've got, like, any, like, really cool fights you've had, remember, rivals, like, just that person you've come through the grades with, and then,
Man, through New Zealand, I've been lucky, bro, because I've, constantly competing. I've been able to sort of catch a lot of the the top guys throughout the years, you know, like even from blue belt coming up purple and brown. So the Aussies used to just travel all the time, like go to Wellington, go to Auckland, you know, like 3, 4, 5 times a year, try to get as much experience as possible. Man, yeah, I mean, there's so many names. Like Dan Digby, bro, he's like one of your idols coming up. You know, he was a purple brown belt when I was like blue and white. You know, like watching him compete, and then you know you get to compete against him at black belt, at brown belt. It's pretty unreal. And
he's a cool dude too.
He's a cool dude, bro. He's a beast as well. His cardio is unreal. Gareth Burke as well. Like Pat was a machine, bro. He's one of the most technical rollers I've been against. He's always fun to roll with. Yeah, dude, there's so many names there. There's so many competitions and people, but
I mean, because you'd have to be. I mean, if you look around, I know you've been around the industry for quite a while, but competing wise, I mean, most people around that have been around for quite a while know who you are, because you probably are one of the most active competitors that I certainly know from beginning to now, who are still competing. They go overseas and all that kind of stuff. So it must be quite good, obviously, when you go to local tournaments or catch up with people, and then you get to have a role and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think you've started doing the odd time now. You do a seminar and that when you travel around New Zealand.
I've done one seminar, bro, like last year at a fight shop up in Palmy. So it was an awesome experience, bro. Like super fun, like good bunch of dudes out there. So I was pretty lucky because Seth used to train at Axis, and he sort of opened the door that way. So I went out there and did a seminar, and you get to meet more people, bro. Like people get to meet you as well, and you see them at comps and stuff. Be like, what up, bro?
Is that Seth Tavendale?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, so I put out an Instagram. Does anyone want to ask any questions? He sent me, hang on. He sent me 4. And of the 4, I'm only going to ask 1 because I don't think...
The other one's not safe, bro.
He wanted to know what your favorite no-gi submission was out of the no-handed oil check or the rusty trombone. And this is the cleanest question.
I bet there's a real fucking dirty one. Well, he knows the answer as well, so I don't even know why he's asking the question, bro.
Has he experienced both?
He's experienced it.
We'll leave it at that.
I'll find you there. I'll get you back.
Actually, on that, I'll bust out my next one. Who's Jonathan Barlow? Is he one of your mates?
Bro, mate, it's like a loose term for that guy. Eh?
Wait till I read this out.
Bro, I can, yeah.
All right.
Go on.
He wanted this one read word for word. Jonathan Barlow says $2,000, no time limit match, sub only. And he wants me to say he owns the South.
Bro, this guy.
He said, also, thank you for your wisdom, but it will be 83 kg weight with a gi. Loser puts down their belt for a month, or he'll let you wear a pink belt for a month so you can keep teaching your little arm bars. But he said, you are a good guy, but he owns the South, and he could outlast you any day in Warzone. He's sick of carrying you. He must be strong, because you're a big fucker.
Bro, he's tiny. He's like... he's no muscle at all. He's just like this... I don't want to say any bad words about him on here, but...
Say more than one,
like,
man.
Yeah.
He's like a fat little schoolgirl, man. His jiu-jitsu shit. Nah, he's funny, bro. Like I met those dudes at Palmy. They're pretty hilarious. He keeps calling me out. He keeps DMing me like, I'm gonna fuck you up. He did it today. I'm gonna fuck you up.
It's because he knows he's gonna be on this.
I think they're gonna come down in a few weeks, hopefully, and I'm just gonna fucking destroy him, eh?
Is it for the owning the South title?
Yeah, I'll put Ben onto him. Ben will kill him.
We'll warm him up.
Yeah.
Obviously, most like the rest of the world, New Zealand went through a lockdown very recently, and you got into a few challenges.
Yeah.
You know, obviously showing off your pics and see what you can do. Do you know? I mean, obviously, I think it was a man love between you and Ben, but who could do what? I don't even know what the hell you're doing. Like, is it like a version of a sit up to bring your legs through to handstand or some shit?
I don't know, man. Just sort of evolved, eh? Like, because you get a lot of time on your hands during that lockdown, bro. And the weather was great, bro. So just sitting out on the deck, I was like, because I used to be able to do that thing years ago, like where you could push yourself up off the floor and turn it into a handstand. I was like, okay, sweet. So I challenged Ben to that, and he just does it straight away, flawlessly, like way better than mine. I was like, fuck. So I had to try to come up with another one, do it on like kettlebells and stuff. But bro, that guy's a beast. They did it, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. I tried it a couple of times.
It was quite funny. So when we were at CFC, my son, he's probably roughly about 6 foot. At that time he wasn't, but he was a young fella. I think he must have been probably about 16 or 15 or 16, and he was right into to training for rugby and that kind of stuff. And he put up this box jump, and the thing was huge. Anyway, so and he did it. And old Ben needs to come along and goes, I think I'm not sure if Kian sent it to him or Ben commented on it, and then he said, no, old fucking Ben's getting these things out and he's putting it fucking up there, and then, he's just like practicing, and then boom, he gets it. Right. And this thing was high. Like, I'm talking like it was up just under my boy's chin at that stage, a box jump. And I was like, whoa, Jesus.
He's not human, eh?
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete. He's a specimen. I
actually think he can fly. I watched that video, and it's anti-gravity. It's like Neil Armstrong or something.
If you challenge him to flying, he'll probably fly, bro. Sure.
I'll fucking outfly you.
Yeah, I'll fucking fly further.
Going forward, Cam, have you got any aspirations to potentially, later on and open your own gym, or you just love training where you are? Like, I know you got your coaching thing going on. Did you ever want to potentially do that, or is it never thought of? What's your thought?
Man, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, because I'm able to train like hard all the time. And teaching a couple nights a week, not a huge drama. And yeah, obviously I want to travel still, compete as much as possible. So, man, maybe down the track, once I'm sort of, slowing down on competing and stuff, because I am still working on coaching and teaching and stuff. It's always, something I can work on to get better at, obviously. So yeah, once the competing dies down, for sure, I might start looking at opening up an academy.
Because how old are you, Cam?
I'm 37.
37.
Yeah.
Oh, the old baby face assassin.
Still going strong, bro. I feel like I'm bloody
42.
Yeah.
Hey,
no, I feel like I'm, in my 20s, bro. I've still got heaps of energy. Even recently, I've just had this new surge of energy come through. So I'm ready to just keep going, like, as long as possible. I still see myself doing this at like fucking 90 if I'm still alive, going hard.
Keep eating pies.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Hey.
Keep eating pies every day. You'd be lucky to get 90.
Bro, I'm pretty sure that's the secret. You heard it here first, the pie a day. As long as I'm still healthy, man. Like, my injuries are pretty minimal. I haven't had any like serious injuries throughout my whole time. My knees okay, shoulders, all that. So
was that a dig at me or something? Is it?
If
you haven't taken me, yeah, I think it was a dig at me, wasn't it?
It's not a dig if it's true, or is it really?
Oh, I know. It's getting there. Hey, look, I've come up with a plan. I want to start competing next year.
Yeah,
you've got a couple more masters to catch up, but I want to try and stay in the masters divisions.
You were going to come and do like a World Pro or something, weren't you?
I was pretty keen next year to go and give it a blast. Because after having that conversation with you on a few bevies, and got me expired, and I think it's pretty cool. I need to, for me anyway, I want to just get my body in shape and that kind of stuff, and give it a blast again.
Yeah, I think the next few sort of world comps are going to be huge because all these people are going to be, you know, stuck in their countries or whatever. So as soon as everything opens up, it'll just be boom, be amazing.
Hanging out to compete.
Fuck yeah, man! Can't wait.
So what do you? What?
Sorry, I was going to say even locally, like as soon as like this competition's up, hopefully they're going to be well supported and, you know, everyone sort of comes together and gets on board.
Because that would be one of the hardest things, and I do notice it. Like once well, we used to talk about it a long time ago. You know, you don't see many black belts competing and that kind of stuff, but a lot of people don't realize once people get their black belts, they're actually teaching or owning a school.
Yeah.
And it's really quite hard because obviously their focus has changed. I always used to think, oh, they didn't want to compete because of, you know, they don't want to lose or anything like that. But the more I actually, you know, obviously thought about it and got into it, it was more the fact that half of them are actually coaches or teachers, you know, and they're a wee bit older, and, you know, obviously they've got other things like schools and their students, and, you know, because for me, I love watching my students compete. And would, even I know you're a competitor, but surely, you know, when you go to comps and you see, especially, I don't know, if you look at Ben, for example, that trains probably a lot with yourself and that kind of stuff, and there's probably a few others that you could probably name at your gym. You know, when you see them compete, it must make you, you know, it must make you feel pretty fucking cool, because it does me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously Hayden's like the head coach, so I think a lot of his influence helps them. But yeah, like, I love training with those guys. Like, they definitely help push me as well, and it's, yeah, watching them win is just fucking unreal. Like, even the white belts that come through the comp class or the blue belts and stuff, it's just, yeah, you have like proud dad moments. You just like,
That's my boy. You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's sometimes it feels like you're out there as well. Like you get more nervous watching your friends or people that you're teaching compete.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I don't get nervous too much like before competitions, but if one of those guys are competing, I'm just, my fucking heart's like,
yeah, but because I think if you're competing and you lose, you can only blame yourself. But if you've told these guys what to do and they do what you say and it's wrong, you're like, fuck, it's going to be my fault that I've lost.
Oh, like coaching on the side, that's where that comes into play. But you just, I don't know. I get more nervous because you want them to be like successful, obviously, but man, those guys are killers. They just hold their own anyway. So
have you got like a little protege you've been trying to mold up from the comp class? Like your secret?
You know, another baby Cam?
Nah, no one's handsome enough.
No one's filled those size 11s.
No, those guys are off on their own paths, man. Those guys are like, their game's different to mine, but they're unreal what they're doing. Like beer bolos, you know, like they smash me, bro. It's awesome.
Oh, you're lying.
Hey.
You're fucking lying.
Ah, man. No, they do. They're good, man. There's a whole bunch of purple belts at the gym that just give you a run for your money. It's awesome. Keeps you honest, though.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, like when we're talking about that, like you compete a lot, whether you win or lose. Obviously, you take off what you can from everything that you do, and, you know, like you say, you compete so much. I mean, I've seen you wrestle and you smash people, and then I've seen you wrestle and you've been beaten. But for you, it's just more the experience of getting out there, not really about, I suppose you say, yeah, you want to win, but it's not really, that's the end goal. It's about what you can get out of it. And you can see that in your jiu-jitsu, especially the ones I've watched anyway.
Yeah, man, winning, like, I've had more success sort of recently than when I first started. But man, I lost shitloads, like so many competitions, so many matches, lost heaps of finals, but I wouldn't change that for anything. Like the experience you get from losing, bros, you can't beat that. Like, and I don't, you know, I never put too much pressure on myself, like, because of that, because I've always come back better, you know, like even if it's a technique, you know, like, okay, I fucked up technically, he beat me technically, then I'll go back and work on something, or it's your cardio, you got to work on your cardio or whatever. So you start building all these things, and you have a whole package by the end of it, and then you start seeing some success, and then it all pays off itself. It takes a long time, but some people just pick it up straight away. Some people are naturally awesome, but yeah, it's never been about winning for me. It's just testing myself, seeing how I go against other gyms, other people, more experienced people, less experienced people, seeing,
How
What
what about like when you're competing? Do you feel much pain like when you lose? Like just say you get caught in something.
am I?
No, like an armbar or a footlock.
Do you feel much pain?
You like I watch, you, when I watch
Explain yourself, Bryan. Come
like-
on, make him so he understands you, mate. Come on.
well,
Like an emotion or a physical pain?
Or both, because like I remember we did the kimono wrap up. I was refereeing on one mat, and you were fighting Scotty Walker, and I really wanted to watch this fight, and I kept looking over, and I couldn't see anything. And then
So you weren't doing your job properly then.
well, my match had finished, and then I heard this, and it wasn't a tap; it was your foot, like
Yeah.
it sounded like a tore. And I turned and I looked, and you're like, "Yeah, I tapped." And then you just kind of got up, and I said, "Do you need some ice?" And you're like, "Yeah, but ice would be good." But there was no. I was like, "Are you sure you're fucking with me?" Because it was obviously a bad injury, because it fucking swelled up.
Oh, I walked it off. I went to walked around the car park, and it came right.
It was massive. You looked like the Elephant Man. And on top of your foot.
Yeah, like it definitely hurts me. I think I've got a high pain threshold though. Like,
Yeah.
I've had some, pretty gnarly breaks and broken ribs and all that sort of shit. I don't feel it too bad. No, it just happens. You just like, it's gone. Fuck it. Tap. Walk it off. Get some ice.
Yeah.
The worst one was like the rib up here, man. Fuck.
In a comp? Or in
Yeah.
training?
Comp. Some guy like just threw me, landed on top, and you could just feel it just go.
Was it the one where you had to cut all the weight in Abu Dhabi?
No.
You were lighter then.
So much lighter. But no, still, I finished the match. I only lost by like 2 or 3 points, but yeah, I couldn't continue. It's still like puffy there, so it makes it look like I got a big chest. It's quite good. It's sort of been a blessing, actually.
So I need to like break a rib to look like you.
Yeah. You don't need to go to the gym anymore. I'll just crack a rib.
Breaking shit.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you playing around with? I mean, so what's your thing at the moment? Obviously, we go through so many different techniques and so many different transitions and bits and pieces, but what are you playing around with at the moment? What do you like to do?
Man, I've always been working passing. Like, I love passing guard. It's like my favorite thing to do. Like, as soon as I sort of figured out good passing, like that's when I started having better success in competitions. But yes, I always work that like constantly. And over the sort of lockdown, studied a lot more crucifix. I've been playing a lot of that. Having pretty good success, like chaining it with other submissions or back takes or all that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, I sort of stick to what I know. Crucifix is probably the thing I've been playing with the most lately. But yeah, more guard passing than anything. Always guard passing.
What's your go-to pass? Or
And
concept pass? Do you go
I just
around,
go
over, through?
collar knee grip, bro, and just fucking
Pull through.
Yeah, leg drags, a lot of leg drags, and just constantly moving, man, like chaining passing, like never focusing on the first pass or second pass, always hitting that third or fourth, like tiring them out.
Shaking them to the knee pass.
Yeah, pick them up, take them over to the side, drop them down.
The nappy roll.
Laughing them with the fucking pass, man.
Who do you like when you say you like watching a lot of jiu-jitsu? Do you more like watching fights? Do you instructionals? Like who do you like to watch? Most no-gi guys like to watch John Danaher and those fellas. What about yourself?
I tried watching John Danaher, man, but I don't have the mental fucking, I don't know, I just can't keep up.
I know, I understand exactly what you're saying. Look, I
Yeah.
think the guy is amazing, but I can't.
I can't.
Not on video anyway.
Man, it takes me 3 months to get through one of those DVDs because I keep losing focus, bro, and I just trail off, think about my own shit, and then I'll come back and have to rewind. I was like, nah. Man, Ryan Hall, big one for me.
He's good, eh?
I find his like the easiest to digest. And I love his game. I watched a lot of Marcelo when I was like purple and brown. Yeah, I just watch a lot of matches and stuff, man. Like obviously Keenan, Miragali, yeah, all those sort of types of dudes. Because I got like a flow account, man. So I just constantly just trawl through matches and techniques and stuff.
Miragali would be. Imagine fighting him. He'd be
I know.
interesting. He's fucking intense.
I watched that fight. Is it Fight to Win on Flow over the weekend, and it had Lovato Junior versus. Oh shit!
Was it just
I can't
been?
remember. Eh?
Is that one just been? I saw the build up to it, but I haven't seen
Just
the fight
been.
yet. Oh.
Yeah, no, I watched the fight, and that was he annihilated the dude.
I heard he teed him up.
Oh mate, it was pretty impressive to watch. It really was. He was just all over him, and and I think he wants, because he can't MMA fight now. I think he wants to get back more into the gi. And then I think it was who was the other one? Henson and Ninja, I think.
Yeah, Edwin.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Don't give. I mean, Henson's he's cool dude, but yeah, that was, I think, for one side of that one.
The triangle. Was it?
Yeah, I think he did finish him on a triangle, but Jesus, he fucking flew everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like, just come up, fly his leg around. It was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
So like I was getting back to the video side of things. So do you focus right in on just like you say Ryan Hall? Like, is there a certain thing you like about him though? Like that I don't know, is it just everything about him that you like, or what?
Oh man, just it's easy to digest. Like it's direct, there's not too many big words thrown around, just straight to the point kind of thing. And it's far easier for me to sort of absorb it and then put it to action, as opposed to, like a Danaher style DVD where it's a lot of bigger words, a lot of sort of, I don't know, he talks a lot to get round to the point. Right, I need it short and sharp. I need it, just a quick explanation, and then I'm good to go.
I reckon with Ryan Hall, I reckon you could even, like when I was in Ireland, I was doing heaps of podcasting and shit, and I reckon you could just listen to Ryan Hall and you can visualize what he's doing.
Yeah,
but like you said with Danaher, he explains it heaps, but I need to see what he's doing and like watch it a couple of times.
Yeah.
But Ryan Hall, man, fucking just listen to it and you work out what he's doing, and he's funny as shit.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Exactly. It's enjoyable.
What's your training style, Cam? In the sense, like, we got our Facebook and all that kind of crap, and you follow all these people. And I'm not the best on social media, but I've clicked on old Kit Dale, so he's got his more different approach to jiu-jitsu. I mean, I'm a more of be taught, go through it, and a wee bit of the let's see what happens and move style, I'll call it. What's your style? Are you a see what happened kind of guy, or you're a more structured, then see what happens? What?
For me personally, like...
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I like to be shown something and then just positional play with it, like positional spar, whether it be full on or just sort of, dial back a bit, and then, or a combination of both, start, dial back, and then make it full on. I think, once I sort of see someone doing it, then I need to play with it, but I need to play with it with a bit of reaction.
Yeah.
Otherwise I never use it. Like if it's just, okay, do this, and I'll do it. And then you never sort of use it in an action. So you go to use it in a roll, you get flattened with it straight away. So you never kind of go back to it, because it's, it's put to the back of your mind, like, okay, that's not working right now. I think that's, for me, I feel you find better angles or better efficient ways to use something when someone's using a lot less energy first, but then slowly building it up, and then it becomes like a live situation, and you know what you're doing. You know the reactions that they're going to have to a certain position or certain technique. You know?
Like reactive drilling.
Yeah, man, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say, but
You didn't hit it. You didn't.
You did it. Oh, wait. But do you still need to like get the concept in your head? So like when I say that, it's like, okay, you're showing something, you go through it 2 or 3 times, and then you go through it in a live motion, or do you like just being shown it and then going through a live motion?
I mean, I'll drill it out like 10 or 12 times, and then sort of pick it up from there, and then
Clocked it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, the more complicated more complicated the technique, you probably need a bit more time to sort of get the movements and everything right, and then add a bit of resistance to it.
Yeah, I like. I mean, there's a bit of both. I mean, there's, for me personally, I like doing the concepts kind of things is going through the motions first and then into it. Going through the live drilling side of stuff, and I think that works quite well. But for me personally, I need to go through that. I suppose you say, what do they call it? Repetition, kind of memory kind of thing in your head first, and then breaking through that and going into I like a lot of Hodger Gracie. Most people know that I'm the big guy anyway, so it's more about pressure and about precise and timing and not all that fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I'm trying to go through it all.
There's a lot to get through.
Oh, look, it's a never-ending story, mate. You watch everything on people's podcasts. I think it's been pretty out of it. Before doing this, I never did a podcast or watched or listened to a podcast before.
You're such a natural, mate.
Mate, this I think I just like talking shit all the time. But you start watching it, and people have delved into this over this period. Like not just myself and Bryan, but everyone has delved into trying to, get their I don't know, say point across, but their views and people on, so everyone can have all this information. And it's a pretty out of experience, really.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love what you guys are doing. It's been fucking enjoyable listening to all these things. Yeah.
I like it's a different side of the training that I think we're asking about. Like you want to hear all the results and who they're beaten, but it's the journey to it. It's not the highlights, it's the whole journey that I like.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's been cool, like hearing how people are getting into it and like what their future goals and stuff are. So I've met all these people that you've been talking to, so it's cool to see a different side of everything.
Like Greg, man, I thought I knew Greg till he told me these stories. I was like, damn, this is crazy.
Greg's the man, bro. He's fucking.
No one knows Greg. No one knows Greg fully. I don't even know Greg knows Greg.
I went and trained with him last night at his new spot. Nice, pretty
cool.
tidy. So
yeah, I've seen the videos, man. That boy's doing well. Like he's doing really good with his club and all that kind of stuff. And he's just taking his time, building himself out. And he's done really, really well.
Gave himself a real good haircut on social media too. That was quite impressive.
It looks good. I saw him in town and I was like, bro, it's awesome. But I saw it last night. It's still pretty tidy.
Was that after a few beers there, mate? You saw it and looked really good.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But no, it's fun. Like, probably start trying to get around more gyms as well in Christchurch. But especially training with Greg, me and him have been training for a while. A lot of drilling, a lot of sparring and competing and stuff. So it's good to have like people you can go to as well outside of your gym just to get a different sort of flavor. I definitely have to come out and see you guys more. It's been far too long.
Oh, far too long, mate. We just tuck over in little old Brighton.
It's not far away now.
Oh, come on, mate. It's on the east side, man. It's nice near the beach.
Definitely make sort of more of an effort. Because I used to do it all the time. I used to go train at different gyms, like, every week. But I think more teaching and stuff now, you sort of, you want to see the people you're spending more time with improve and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, if I'm going to start competing hard again, I want to sort of,
stealing everyone else's knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. And we're all black belts now, man. It's been a journey for all of us. So
Yeah, it's the same game.
exactly, man. Same people. It'd be good to sort of see what's happening.
That's what I always say. There's no secrets. Like it's on the net. Like no one's got no fancy move or something like, oh, don't show this to this thing. It's look, everyone could train everywhere. They're still teaching the same thing. May have a little tweak here or there, but it's still the same thing.
Exactly.
I mean, it was quite funny. I watched, I think it was a judo thing back in the 1950s just the other day, and
You weren't alive in the 1950s.
I watched it on YouTube.
Oh,
Or actually, I watched it on Facebook. But it went into, it was quite funny. You watched it. They were doing De La Riva.
Oh, in the 1950s.
Yeah, in Japan doing judo. I think is it they have two versions of judo. One's obviously judo stand up throw, and then they've got the ground fighting style of judo.
they was it, yeah.
No. How do you spell it?
N-E.
Nah, this was Kinzo.
Oh, Kosen judo.
Aye?
Kosen judo.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
It's the one with the leg throws and illegal moves in it.
Yeah, so they did that, but they were pulling off De La Rivas. They were pulling off Birimbolos back in 1950. So you know what I mean? It's not a new move. It's not something that someone's generated over time. I mean, we're in 2020 now. That was 70 years ago. All it was has been regurgitated, brought around, and perfected a wee bit more. You know, tweaked a wee bit more, because like most things, as time goes on, it gets tweaked. But it was really cool. It was an awesome, like, you sitting there watching and you go, yeah, 1950, they were doing De La Riva. Holy crap. And these guys were good. They were seriously good.
Yeah.
So
is it on YouTube or something?
Yeah, it was, I don't know, how'd you say it, Bryan?
Kosen. It's Kosen.
Yeah, Kosen and judo. And maybe it might come up on YouTube, but it was on Facebook when I watched it. It was, you could see where it started from or what their thing was. It was some cool stuff. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, I'd say every sort of technique. I heard this on like the Raspberry 8 podcast. I think he's saying like,
funny, eh?
he's awesome, bro. Yeah, it's amazing. But he's saying like, no one's sort of all the techniques have sort of always been around. Like some people might not know it, or it's been lost in the path of time or whatever. But nothing's sort of been invented. It's already been discovered. But you've never seen it. But you say you've invented this move, you might not have invented it. You've just sort of come across it, like.
Yeah. Do you remember Neo Shrimpy? I think that's how you pronounce it. Nino Shrimpy.
Nino, the Elvis.
It's funny as fuck, because you like Eddie Bravo come in and say, I got this rubber guard, and you watch before Eddie Bravo come around, Nino doing rubber guard, just to call it rubber guard.
Yeah.
Like you say. So same thing. It's just like the stuff's been around. It just hasn't had a name, or I think it's even like Das. I think Das got like 3 or 4 different names. Bravio choke, it's pretty much Das. There's a few other ones. I don't know.
Tapped all of them. Doesn't really matter. I don't care what they're called.
Yeah. Hey, there's only one move that lasts every tap.
Right. Always tap.
I've got a black belt on tapping.
Tap every day, bro. I get tapped out all the time.
Oh, fuck! You've got to tap. If you're not tapping out, you're not rolling properly.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
Mate, that's my favorite. That's my favorite saying to people. You learn from your mistakes, not from your wins, or your losses, not from your wins. Yeah. You can. If you win every single time, what are you actually learning? Yeah, I can tap people, but you're not actually going to learn how not to defend it. I think we spoke about this a few times, Bryan.
Yeah.
I got tapped 5 times until I learned how to do this one escape from when I was wrestling my brother. I think I was choking my own self while he was choking me.
I think, that's how you get good as well. Like you build a good defense, just training in shit positions. Like, of course you're going to get tapped out numerous times, man. But I always used to train, like just put myself in the worst position, like either give my back or just, I think more because I was quite lazy. I just couldn't be fucked sometimes. So I
hear that.
Let them get somewhere. But you build like a good defense, man. Like, so I feel way more comfortable in a shit situation, which definitely helps in competition and stuff.
All my failed guard passes end up me just lying on the ground, giving my back half on the side, because it's easier for me to defend that than an armbar.
That's right, though.
Oh, it's quite enjoyable watching people, and especially lower belts, and they come through, and you're trying to teach them something, and you're just taking it easy, and then they're like, "Yeah, but you're setting me up for something." So no, I just wanted you to react to it. And it's like, yeah, but I didn't do it because I knew you were going to do something to me. It's like, no, I wasn't. I was just taking it easy so you could go through it. And it's just, it's funny sometimes.
Yeah. White belts are a different animal, bro. It pains me to think about what I was like as a white belt sometimes. I would have been that big, spazzy motherfucker.
You're in the corner just doing curls and shit.
Trying to smash everyone, bro. Just a tool bag.
Yeah, you're a black belt tool bag.
Yeah, exactly. Now I just got a different color belt on.
And bigger weights.
Yeah. Way bigger weights, man. Yeah, I remember the start of academy days, you have no idea of what jiu-jitsu is, or how to roll with people. I just remember just spazzing out, because Adam Johnson was there as well. He's like a small dude, man. I was just trying to fucking manhandle him.
He was a power lifter back then, wasn't he? He was real strong. I remember that.
He was so good back then. Still, he was still doing deep half and stuff as a white belt. See, that's my first sort of introduction is to a good smaller person. Just you can't manhandle them like that because they'll fuck you up with technique.
Yeah, no, it was good because obviously back then that was the only school in Christchurch that did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
So for the old guard, I suppose you could say, and there's not many of us around anymore that are still doing it.
Yeah, man.
That's the only place in Christchurch that you learned or that you were taught. So yeah, it was you walk up the old staircase, get to the top. And then it was quite funny because when I started, we were down the other end of the Litchfield, and then we moved to above the car rental place or whatever it was. But and then you walk in there and your eyes are just like, holy shit!
Yeah, man.
This stuff. What's going on here? And,
it took me a long time to join there. It was too I don't know, nerve-wracking or whatever, but I tried for months and months and months, but I'd always just get to the stairs and nah, fuck that. And then
too many stairs.
Yeah.
Oh mate, they were you had to walk upstairs and then cross the land up again.
Yeah.
They were quite high.
But once you're in there, it was great. Good bunch of people, man. Obviously yourself, Hayden, and Jason, Scotty, and stuff. Yeah, it was a good crew, man. It was good training as well. I just remember some good hard trainings at that gym.
Oh, look, I do, yeah. And like I say, those people are still around. Some of them have dropped off, but some of them are still doing jiu-jitsu. But there were a couple of others. I fucking can't remember their names fully. Jeremy, I think it's Jeremy Murphy.
He's over
in Aussie now, though.
No, Jeremy Murphy's at back at the academy, isn't he?
Back at academy, yeah.
Oh, Jeremy, yeah, he was back there, yeah. So Jeremy was one of my when I first started, and then there was this fucking tall, skinny white fella. I have to remember his name, but he was good. He reminded me of Forrest.
Graham Muir?
No, he was. Could be Graham. Could be Graham. Yeah, I think it is.
Did Valley Tudor? I went to school with him.
Yeah. He was a tall, skinny white fella, man. He was good.
The Greyhound.
Yeah, and then Jeremy Lee.
Yeah, I used to do bouncing with him. He was about 2 feet taller than me.
He spanked me when I first started. I remember, he was good. So there was I don't know how many of them are still going now, if they are. I know there's a few, but everyone started in Christchurch.
Jeremy started back up at in Auckland. He went back to Cereso's, I think. I'm on my friends were on Facebook, and he posted up a random post, and I was like, "Oh, you back training again?" Like, yep, same gi. And all I can remember is I saw his gi once, and I could smell it before I could see it.
Hey, look, Cam, look, it's getting to that time. We try to keep it to kind of so we get you back on next time to talk about a lot more other shit.
Yeah, and take your shirt off.
Well, okay. I think I might have to leave a wee bit earlier there, maybe.
Wrong podcast.
But I'm
Brian,
sure.
wrong
Oh,
podcast.
sorry. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
the other
sure
one.
Brian's got some. So what we normally do, and you obviously listen to it. You got 5 questions or 4. The last one's always the same. Yeah. So it's your turn, Brian.
All right. So, quick fire. Favorite martial arts movie?
Fuck.
I haven't seen that one.
What's that like?
Good
Is that the
fight
other
scenes.
podcast?
Oh man, that's out of nowhere. That's a tough one. There's so many, bro.
Magic Mike 2.
We'll just go Ong Bak for now.
Or
But,
Ong Bak. All right. Top game or bottom game?
Top.
Jiu-jitsu.
Whoa.
Okay.
With you or jiu-jitsu? With you, bottom, jiu-jitsu top.
Right. Favorite NBA team and what year?
Oh man, like of all time, obviously the Bulls. The '90s Bulls. But recently, I'm a 76ers fan, so.
Sorry, I don't follow basketball. The Bulls. I knew you were going to say the Bulls anyway because they're old, yeah.
All right. Street Fighter. What character do you play in Street Fighter?
Akuma.
Akuma.
Yeah.
Isn't that the second person picked that name?
No one else has even played Street Fighter.
A little too young.
Akuma's just like a jacked version of Rue.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a jack version of you, Brian. So perfect.
You're an adult version of Bryan.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the big question. Do you or do you not wash your belt?
Of course I wash my belt.
Yes.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh,
Because
bro,
he's a
I've got
jack
like-
version of me.
I've got like 3 belts. They all get washed.
Nice.
I sweat like a fucking demon, bro. You better wash if you sweat like me, eh?
Better wash your nasty
oh, that's
ass.
understandable. You sweat then there. I'd wash it too, bro.
Bro,
Like you said.
they get wet, man. Like training in Japan, bro, your belt is just like you could wring it out, man. Like it's
It's like
crazy.
like a headband for your ass.
But no, like I never used to, man. Like I think at brown belt I started washing my belt.
Were you like, is this a brown belt or is it gone brown?
Oh, hang on. At a brown belt. So you only started washing them for a year.
Yeah, because I hung out with you too much, bro. So,
I'll be washing it too.
no, yeah, just I think
No,
more.
you're the one who fucking likes on bottom.
Yeah, I think more because I'd sweat, bro. It'd be dodgy, man. Like you'd have to wash it, eh? But now I just wash them all the time. I don't have that mysterious power shit. I just keep it clean, keep it mean, you know?
Yeah. Don't get it green.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, hang
Okay,
on,
so-
just real quickly. So when Hayden went we both went into Scorpion supplements, and they were pretty cool. And I told him about what we're doing, and I showed him the podcast, and he was real stoked. So he gave me this box of free shit. So it's like shakers and fucking samples and stuff. So what I'm going to do?
It's just one shaker in there.
No, there's a whole lot of shit in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. I watched it, so some of it went away. But so what I'll do is I'll do a random random competition on Instagram, and then the winner gets that. But it's got to be dry shit so I can deliver it. No, that's it.
Yeah.
I'll better post it out. So yeah, I'll do that one through as well.
Okay, so
Right.
we're going to do a competition, everyone. So I don't know, he'll put it up on Instagram. Make sure you get your ass on there. I don't know, whatever he says to do, just do it. And we'll get it out to you.
Yeah, sweet.
Scorpion supplements in Christchurch here, made locally, so make sure you hit it up. Look, Cam trains at Axis in Christchurch headquarters. Make sure he's also teaching there. Got some amazing coaches there as well on top of Cam. Make sure you get down there if
On
you
top
need
of
to.
it.
Wash your belt.
Wash your belt.
Make sure you wash your belt after you train with them. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
But yeah, so at headquarters, so if you're keen to get into it, look, there's so many different schools in Christchurch, so just make sure you hit jiu-jitsu up in general. It will change your life. It's changed
Exactly.
all ours and for the better. So yeah, thanks, Cam. That's fucking awesome, man.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Rose.
Keep
So
doing what you're doing.
what we're gonna do fucking now
now.
is instead of you pushing stop, I'll
Yeah.
get Bryan to push stop and record.
What?
Okay.
Well, if you push stop and record, then we can keep talking.
All right.